My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Legends Series 8 Eddie Guerrero. And so here we have Eddie Guerrero posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Eddie here only comes with 2 pairs of hands. We get a pair of fists. Then we get a pair of grip hands for Eddie. He also does come with a Soft Goods I'm Your Papi t-shirt, which looks really nice on the figure. Other than that, we don't get anything with Eddie. We don't get a US title or a tag belt, not even the Undisputed title, which is a shame, but I know why they didn't give it to us, because it was seen with an earlier figure, which is to be understandable, but I would have liked to see an Undisputed title with Eddie. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to his details. So here we have a closer look at the Legend Series Eddie Guerrero. Now, I do have to say that they kind of did mess up on the photo reel on his face a little bit. You can see that they went a little heavy on his right eye and just about right on the left eye. It is a little bit of a shame that that did happen, but from a distance you're not going to notice it. Really do like the expression here that they have on Eddie. I mean, from this side, you're not going to really notice the difference in the eyes. But anyway, going on the expression, I really like the way they captured his likeness here. It does look like Eddie Guerrero, and they did a fantastic job replicating that. You can see he does have his goatee really nicely. That really classic Eddie Guerrero smirk, which looks really nice. Really do like the way they did his hair. This is something I've been talking about. Mattel can do highlights in the hair. Well, let's start putting highlights in the hair because it does make the figure pop more. And of course, this is when Eddie had those blonde highlights in his hair. Just did a really good job with this figure. Now, one thing to note is that you're not going to see too much staining with this figure. We do have a little bit of paint right here, but not staining from the t-shirt. And the only reason for that is the inside of the shirt is white. Really hope that Mattel starts moving forward with the white and black t-shirts. Well, white inside, black outside, because that does help prevent staining, which is one thing that they have addressed in the past. But hopefully moving forward they do stuff like that, because we don't want to stain the plastic. So really like the torso they went with Eddie. It's not overly muscular, but it's just enough of how Eddie looked, especially in his later years, especially the last year of his life, unfortunately. But they did a really good job capturing the look of his torso. I think this is a really nice body to go with. They do use the Daniel Bryan arms, or CM Punk arms, whatever you want to call them, which is pretty accurate. Eddie didn't have like overly vascular arms, but he did have a really defined torso. So really do like that. Really like the elbow pads. Those do look good on the figure. Right here he is wearing his wrist tape, which really glad that they decided to paint and mold the pegs in white. I would have been really upset if those were a flesh tone. See, it just makes the figure look better when they do that. I don't know why they do pegs different colors. I honestly have no idea, people. It's just something Mattel does. You can see he does have his crucifix tattoo right here. So really do like the attire that they went with. I would have preferred the red with a black with gold and red, but they went with the neon green and blue trunks, which does look really good. You can see it does say Latino here in the back, which does look really nice. And then we have the flames because he is Latino heat. So really loving this. Really love the colors in it, and it looks really fantastic. So can't really argue about good things. Mattel did a really good job with this. Having a look at the boots, this is one thing a lot of people were hoping that they would correct, and they did. The first Legend Series Eddie Guerrero had orange boots. This one has gold boots with the black flames, and I know if you have that previous Eddie figure, a lot of people have already boot swapped it. I unfortunately don't have that Eddie Guerrero figure, and that does bum me out so much, but having this one in hand, I think this is a much better figure in terms of detailing. In terms of costumes, I think I would prefer the other one, but that's just me personally. So overall, really good job here on Eddie Guerrero. So what we're going to do now is compare him to other figures you may have in your collection. And for scale, here we do have Eddie Guerrero posing next to an Ultimate Edition's Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Eddie's articulation. He does have the standard elite articulation, which is a ball joint in the head. We really don't get too much up and down movement, but we do get some. We get very minuscule head tilt, so it's almost non-existent. His head does turn left and right, no problem. Arms are on ball joints that do go out to the side. They go all the way around. We do have a traditional bicep swivel. Single bend at the elbow. Because of the elbow pads, it does restrict some movement. If you do remove the elbow pads, we do get the full 90 degrees, so just keep that in mind. We do have a swivel and hinge here at the wrist. We do have an ab crunch, which only goes back about that far, which is kind of sad. Best forward movement that we've seen in a really long time. I really do like the range of this torso gets moving forward. If anything, I would prefer forward movement over back movement, and that's just me personally. We do have waist swivel. Legs do kick forward to a full 90 degrees. They go back, out to the side, no issues. Thigh swivel works perfectly fine. Double bend at the knee works really good. Swivel at the boot. We have a hinge in the ankle, which goes back and forward. Then we have rocker ankle on Eddie Guerrero. So overall, I think Mattel has done a fantastic job with this figure. There are things they could have improved on, but for what it is, I think Mattel has a ringer of a figure right here. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Eddie posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the WWE Legends Series Eddie Guerrero posed for my final thoughts, and overall, I think Mattel has done a fantastic job with this figure. Although mine does suffer a little bit on the paint with the face, it's still a very good pickup. Face paint is going to vary from figure to figure, so it's not something that I'm too worried about. I think that he did a really good job with this figure, although I know a lot of people would say that they would have preferred the Eddie with his undisputed title, but I still think this is a really good figure. I really do wish that they included maybe a tag team title, because he was teaming with Chavo at the time that he wore this attire. So having a tag team title would have been really nice, especially the SmackDown title, which we did see with John Morrison. This Eddie Guerrero is still a fantastic inclusion for any collector, especially if you're like me, who's from El Paso, Texas, and wants to get your hometown hero. It's a really good representation of Eddie Guerrero. Now, he could have used a few more accessories. I think the hands are perfectly fine. I don't think he really needed style pose hands, because most of the time his taunts were done with a fist, so I guess it works perfectly fine here. If you are looking for the Legend Series Eddie Guerrero, unfortunately it is a Target exclusive, and Eddie Guerrero and Ultimate Warrior seem to be the hardest figures to find out of this series. I was lucky enough to get this Eddie Guerrero off Target.com, and they were able to ship it to me, which was really good, saved me the hassle of trying to track one down. Now, at the time I'm making this video, he's not available on Target's website anymore. He did sell out, unfortunately, but if you do have them when they notify you when they're in stock, that's the best opportunity to get it. I really recommend you pick up this figure. If you're a fan of the Ruthless Aggression era, or just a fan of Eddie Guerrero in general, you won't be disappointed with this figure. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.